So in this video we're going to talk about what a sexual fall is and its relation to the inverted star or the inverted pentagram. So if we observe a human being, we'll see that the human being is a star of 5 points. At the top of our head being the apex of the star, our two hands being the arms of the star, and our two legs being the feet of the star. So when a human being is standing up straight on his or her 2 feet and their arms outstretched, they form what is called the pentalpha, a pentacle, or in common language, a 5-pointed star. So observing that structure, we see that the intellect, the head, is the one that rules or commands or governs the other functions or centres of the human being. Mainly the head, the intellect, common sense, reason, awareness, consciousness, etc. Command, emotion, movement, instinct, and sex. So when we have a look at an inverted star, we see, or a falling star, we see the head, the point of the star facing or pointing straight to the ground, and then the 2 bottom points, pointing upwards. So meaning that the sexual force, the sexual power of the human being is in the upper position, and the intellect, reason, common sense, consciousness, etc. is in the lower position. So this symbolizes, or this indicates, that the sexual force is in control. And really, that is the wrong order of things. That is characteristic of a fall. When somebody falls from grace, when somebody falls spiritually, when someone ruins their reputation, when someone lowers their image, when someone gets demoted, when someone loses their position, when someone loses a certain status or a certain esteem, that's what we call a fall. And a sexual fall, probably the most important fall of all, because a sexual fall is really a spiritual fall, is when the sexual force, which really should not be in command, is in command. In other words, when the sexual force is at the service of matter, when the sexual force escapes being controlled or being governed or being directed by or led by common sense, reason, awareness, spirituality, intellect, intuition, consciousness. When the sexual force is just driven into matter, that's when we have a spiritual fall. When the sexual force seeking sensation, seeking pleasure, seeking gratification, seeking more sensations, seeking the gratification of the senses, that's when most certainly we have a sexual and also a spiritual fall. That's when matter is dominating the spirit, and that's the wrong way. It should be that the spirit dominates matter. It should be that the spirit, consciousness, intellect, soul, awareness, reason in the human being leads, directs and governs our sexual force. So that is a clear characteristic of any sexual fall or any sexual problem. When our sexual forces are out of control, we are that inverted star. When we're doing things outside of our routine, when we're not doing the things we should be doing, we're abandoning our duties, our chores, we're spending less time at work, getting late to work, doing strange things we don't normally do to satisfy in our sexual drive, then we are the inverted star. That's when we have a problem. And so that indicates, to solve that problem, we have to begin to bring our sexual forces under control, under the guidance, under the direction of our intellect. So just to conclude this video, the natural order of things, the correct order of things is that our sexual force is not in control, is not in command. Our consciousness, spirituality, intellect, reason, illuminated intellect, intuition, etc. has to be in command of the sexual force. The sexual force is a blind force that needs guidance, that needs direction. If we don't guide it, it will be driven, it has to go somewhere, it has to be driven into something, it has to be driven by something. And if we don't guide it consciously, voluntarily, it will fall under the guidance of the ego in us, and the ego in us is only concerned about matter, senses and sensations, and so that will control our sexual force and lead us into a whole lot of trouble, basically lead us into the fall. Okay, so I hope in some way this video has been useful for you. Stand by for more videos on the same topic. Thanks.